Dith Dawl ran ara Learn Cornish podcast Agastin Erch. Hello all, welcome to another episode of Learn Cornish podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about the verbs standing, sitting and lying. That's Sevel, Esedha and Growedha. Those are the infinitive forms. I'm going to go through present tense conjugation of these verbs using the long form of those. The way you'd say I sit, you sit, he sits, stands, lies, etc. is the same as for other verbs, but the way you'd say I'm sitting, standing, lying is different for these verbs. If you want to say I'm lying or I'm lying down, the way you'd say this is Ith esedha am Growedha. Am is a contraction of a, the preposition, and o, meaning my. So that phrase directly translates as I am of my lies, where lies is the verb. For standing and sitting, it would be Esedha am sav and Esedha am Esedha, which literally mean I am of my stands and I am of my sits. Am doesn't cause a mutation even though O does. I'll go through all the conjugations of Growedha. Esedha am Growedha, I'm lying. Esedha ath Rowedha, you're lying, singular. Ima ev I Rowedha, he's lying. Ima he I Growedha, she's lying. Ith eson ni agan Growedha, we're lying. Ith esochwi agas Growedha, you're lying, plural. Imons I aga Growedha, they are lying. You'll notice that there are some mutations. Ath, a apostrophe th from a, tha, of your. That triggers a fifth mixed mutation. So Growedha goes to Rowedha with a W at the front. I from a apostrophe y, that means of his. That triggers a second mutation, so that also goes to Rowedha with a W. The second I, again a apostrophe y, which is a contraction of a he, meaning of her, triggers a third mutation, but G followed by R doesn't suffer a third mutation, so it's still Growedha. Agan from a agan and agas from a agas, they both have apostrophes after the first A. They do not mutate. Aga, a apostrophe ga, from a aga, of there. That triggers a third mutation, which doesn't change anything. So the only mutations to remember are ath and the masculine I, and they both make the G become a W. Luckily, the other verbs sav and esedha don't mutate because S doesn't mutate and E isn't a consonant. I'll quickly go through the conjugations with Sevel. which means standing, and Esedha, which means sitting. Ith eso fi am saf, ith esos ta ath saf, ima ef I saf, ima hi I saf, ith eson ni agan saf, ith eso chwi agas saf, imons I aga saf. And for esaith, ith eso fi am esaith, ith esos ta ath esaith, ima ef I esaith, ima hi I esaith, ith eso ni agan esaith, ith eso chwi agas esaith, imons I aga esaith. Now I'll go through some example sentences in Cornish, and I'll pause after each one to let you try and work it out before I say the English. You can pause if you want more time to think. Rag and sampel. Pith esos ta ocul. Ith eso fi am groeith. Pith esos ta ocul. Ith eso fi am groeith. What are you doing? I'm lying down. Prag eson ni agan saf. Prag eson ni agan saf. Test you on your question word knowledge. And that means, why are we standing? Fatel eso chwi agas esaith. Fatel eso chwi agas esaith. And a clue I'll give you for that is that the only time you could possibly hear this is probably in an etiquette lesson. So, fatel eso chwi agas esaith means, how are you sitting? Plural. Uziev I roeith waran lur arta. Uziev I roeith waran lur arta. Possibly a more relatable question, possibly less. Uziev I roeith waran lur arta means, is he lying on the floor again? Nag Uzi, nins Uziev I roeith, imaev I sav adenuan. Nag Uzi, nins Uziev I roeith, imaev I sav adenuan. And that means, no, he's not lying. He's standing sideways. Pew Uzi I groeith in Jardin. Pew Uzi I groeith in Jardin. And that means, who's lying in the garden? And this has been conjugated for the female third person, so presumably a woman is lying in the garden. The masculine or gender non-specific version of this question would be, Pew Uzi I roeith in Jardin. Morass, if you've listened this far, before I go, I will say that if you'd like to request topics for me to cover, you can leave comments either on Spotify or on YouTube. and to some extent on the transcripts, although I don't check those comments very often. But on Spotify, I will see them on my podcasting app, and on YouTube, I check that semi regularly. I'm not sure if I will see comments if they're left on other podcast apps, but you can try. And they might come up on my podcasting app. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you at the next podcast. Farewellers.